Breaking news. The old CEO Piles talked about some insane changes coming to the game. And I mean insane, such as the AMR autocannon being able to break charger armor or be effective against chargers, for lack of a better term. Now, these comments should be taken with a grain of salt, and do be aware of the phrase, if nothing changes, nothing changes. I've been working closely with the team to look at game experience, balance mostly. We're confident in the update we're creating that we'll see a significant meta shift and bringing the game into a state where playfulness takes the front seat and challenge is secondary. I've had a good time with the experience shift, and it is closer to the original intent of the game as well as how it felt on launch. I don't mean to be rude, but saying that the update brings the game back to what the original vision was does not instill confidence whatsoever. It doesn't instill a clue in me because I'm lost. Considering that's what was told to us when a lot of players disagreed with balance changes and patches since release. Balance, nerfing and buffing, are elements that we during the majority of development avoided. We focused on making an experience that made sense. After launch, I think the discussion of meta, data-informed, and balance took the overhand and replaced our focus on creating a fun, playful, and fantasy-driven experience. The amount of old videos where I'm talking about how the game should focus on making weapons more viable and that would equal more fun is insane. And now we will likely get that. Weapons will be useful. I wrote that, but sorry everyone, I can't keep up, but the new update will see the autocannon and AMR be effective against chargers. But no, you can blow their back out. It's super good. A primer weapon can do that. It's not a feat of any kind. What it seems like he's getting at is that you can break their armor using the autocannon. AMR, maybe not. We'll see what happens. This next part is significant. No, not less chargers, but 10 times more ways to deal with them. If you're not aware, for the longest time, we kept having Bile Titan spawns get reduced, charger spawns get reduced because our weapons couldn't kill them. And instead of buffing our weapons, they just reduced the spawn rates. Now, we have a new era. For instance, Recoilless Rifle is a hard counter to chargers. One shot to the body and bye-bye. Great question to ask here, as Chaos Vulcan does. What about behemoth chargers? To which I don't have the answer to at all. Hopefully, anti-tanks can one-shot them as well. I wouldn't mind it if other weapons have a longer time to kill against behemoth chargers, although I'm not a big fan of behemoth chargers taking longer to kill in general. We'll see what happens when we get there, though. We'll go ahead and press on. Has the team considered turning the charger's bulbous spot, I think the wagon, the orange bit, its butt, into one that can be killed off with primaries with more ease? I understand wanting us to rely more on stratagems, but as things stand, primaries don't feel satisfying to use in most cases due to how niche or outclassed most of them are. That's a pretty fair thing to say. Most primaries don't feel very impactful. Piles responds, yes, you can destroy it rather quickly now. What does that even mean? Great question. Answer. We can blow a charger's back out with a bit more swiftness. That's important. Do Bile Titans finally take damage to the head? Yes, and the entire belly is susceptible to small arms fire. So for the question, I'm not sure what they mean exactly because Bile Titans have been taking reduced damage to the head based on spewing, which has been a little annoying. And the whole reason for that is because Bile Titans for the longest time would commit self-Sudoku when they spewed. It still happens though, so players just got the short end of the stick on that one. And apparently Bile Titans don't take proper damage from explosions for whatever reason. Pile's just saying yes. The assumption is that Bile Titans will be easier to kill in some capacity. Cool. And folks will freak out about this. The belly is susceptible to small arms fire. Not realizing that the belly is currently susceptible to HMG and up. HMG can kill Bile Titan. It just takes 2 magazines. With this change, my only real guess is that we can kill Bile Titans with a pistol if it's low enough. You won't be using 1 magazine from a regular pistol and killing a Bile Titan. So if folks are freaking out and trying to fearmonger you, they're Muppets. Is there anything about Railgun? Oh, what an absolute G. Taub, you're the GOAT. Higher risk and reward, but closer to release and effectiveness. But we know it's a fan favorite, so we're treading carefully. I think is what it meant there, maybe. I don't know what the freak higher risk could be. Longer charge time, hopefully not. That would just ruin the flow of the weapon to me personally. Maybe a backpack, so you actually have to use that. Because way back when Railgun got nerfed, they nerfed it on the grounds of a lot of things. Mostly the bug that happened letting you one-shot or two-shot Bile Titans, but also because you didn't need a backpack. So they could be going way back to that comment and giving it a backpack, but maybe not. So I'm not quite sure what the risk could be. Faster charge rate, so a greater chance of exploding, but if you time it correctly, you get good damage. Or rewarding players for charging it higher, because right now there's really not a reason to go to max charge. All I have to say is, please, anytime a dev mentions balance, pistol whip them. This is my general belief when it comes to balance. It takes the edge off games and makes it a bland experience. I failed to reinforce this internally. Things should not be overpowered or underpowered, but that's it. At first, I thought that comment from the dude was out of pocket. Like, little excessive, but maybe they're just a little passionate. There's going to be one comment saying Alexis should get pistol whipped. He should get fired. Listen, Alexis is not the only person working at Arrowhead, I'm not trying to say that everyone should get pistol whipped. I'm trying to say it was a collective thing. You mentioned making AMR more effective, but what about the misaligned reticle? I want my shots to go where I'm aiming them. Piles responds, yes, I've heard that crosshairs are fixed across the board, but wait for official info. The AMR does not shoot correctly. The HMG does not shoot correctly when you're scoped in first person with these weapons. What that means is you could be hitting your shots and still missing your shots. If that's fixed, that's a massive buff. It's quality of life technically, but your shots going where you shoot them is a buff. Quality of life. Can we please be able to use half-spent magazines we drop to the ground for later? Go back, pick them up, reuse them. We actually said during development that realistically you'd put a half-full magazine in your pocket. But this is movie realism where you just throw magazines with bullets in them away, which I'm completely okay with. I like the reload system. I even enjoy the fact that when you're shooting things, there's a bit of time for your shot to line up. I don't know if that'd be classified as movie realism, but I think it's cool. The only issue arises whenever we lose too many magazines. Instant breaker -2 mags, it's still fine, but annoying. Sickle -3 magazines. Why? That's the only issue I have with this system, is it's fine to exist, it punishes players in a way, and it's kind of unique. But don't make it too punishing. Any news regarding ragdolling? I know a small patch reduced the AoE size of ragdolls on some enemies, but the ones from Escape from Freedom still have massive AoE sizes. Pyle says less rockets that hit worse against bots. I'm not sure if that means that they hit harder or they don't hit as often, as if the bots will be less accurate. Rocket collision was 0.5 meters, and now it'll be 0.1 meters. Pretty massive reduction. Ragdolls will still happen, but they won't be as annoying, which is a good thing, because ragdolls are hilarious, but when they happen all the time, it's not as funny or fun. They made rocket devastators run out of ammo and blow their load quickly, so they shoot faster, and they now run out of rockets. I am indifferent to that change. It won't make or break the update by any means for me, but I did say recently, I hope they don't make it so rocket devastators, for instance, run out of rockets. We'll see what happens. Now, why are some of these changes happening? It's about realism. Pyle's response. It's about verisimilitude, which I Googled that and I could not find that in definition anywhere. Maybe Google's delayed. Believability and internal consistency. It needs to adhere to what is perceived as makes sense. When it doesn't, we break the illusion and the creativity of players. Will there be any changes to Stim animation cancel? He stated today that he checked the code and apparently there's a 10-frame delay between the sound and the effect. Y'all have had to have had the experience where you stim, you hear the kts, and you don't get any healing. You stim, hear the sound effect, you get slapped by a hunter that's been possessed by Mike Tyson's spirit. We are not working with breakpoints anymore. The experience needs to be more of a gradient. We'll do another update when we get feedback on this first patch. Last part makes a bunch of sense. First part, I am confusion. What does that mean? We're not working with breakpoints. We want the experience to be more of a gradient. Breakpoints are pretty convenient though. It takes 1 shot to kill this monster, 2, 3, 4. You've also got durable damage to separate things, armor pin level, armor or durable damage reduction. You have a bunch of ways to make it so a pistol can't do the same damage as a railgun. Pyle says, you still have to beat armor. So Liberator will bounce off charger carapace, but knock it open with autocannon and pour rounds into the exposed flesh. I'm still so confused though. We'll have to see how it feels. When is the update coming? In my view, too late. But we're doubling down on quality assessment this time around to not F up. A good update with stability issues is a bad update. Then again, a stable update with bad changes is the same. We need to do good on both parts. That's pretty fair, pretty true. So we have no idea what the time frame is going to be, hopefully soon though. In closing remarks, to everyone, I'm expressing my point of view. We are a studio of 100 plus, which means our crafted and official messages takes priority over what I say. So there's ever a contraction, the public one is right. Piles is just a gamer. Is also the CCO. Hopefully these ideas are a pivotal turning point in the enjoyment for Helldivers 2. Because on paper, and I think even in practice if you can actually implement them, that would be the reality. This stuff just seems fun. People aren't looking to just be the most overpowered thing in the universe. I know we talk about overpowered weapons, spreading democracy. That's because that's what the PS5 box says. But in reality, folks will settle and honestly be happier with our weapons just being good. A lot of weapons aren't good. Folks have low standards though, and so they'll say that machine gun is really great or stalwart is amazing. That's because their standards are so low. But Pyle seems to have a good idea of what's going to be fun, and that is guns being effective. AMR autocannon killing chargers in new ways. Sign me up. Because the same thing may apply to the laser cannon, arc thrower. We don't even know. That's the insane part. Is he spilling some beans? He said mini beans, but what if there's more beans to be spilled? That's intriguing. So I am cautiously optimistic that this will be the big patch. The one that they hyped up the Escape from Freedom to be, which was a bit of a mistake. But we'll see what happens. If they can follow through, I'm hoping they can maintain this energy long into the future, and Helldivers 2 has a long-lasting lifespan. Because the game can do it. It just takes the right ideas and realizing what players actually want. And not just the folks in the echo chamber that is Reddit and Discord, the gladiators of Glizzies.